All right, our guitar for the day is a D35, which is, I always forget what year these things are. It's a 70s something or another. Let me get some light down in there. 338. 338, that must be 73, 74, 73, 74. I don't know, you can look it up. It's a mid-70s D35. I've always wanted a D35 for the shop to use as a model. This one came in with all the typical 70s problems. Bridge is out of place by 1/8 of an inch. Big old rosewood bridge plate, all the standard stuff. What I always try to do on D35s is get them brighter, get them punchier, because to me they're really, they can be very mushy sounding guitars with the big bridge plate, and they have a lighter bracing. I guess a lot of people don't realize that, but they have a three-piece back, and so that's one thing. And so, a lot of people think, well, the three-piece back is what gives it the difference in sound. Not so much, in my experience. It's more the fact that it has 1 1/4 inch bracing instead of 1 1/4 inch bracing, 1/4 inch bracing instead of 3/16. No, 5/16. I haven't woke up yet. D35s have a 1/4 inch bracing instead of 5/16 inch bracing, which the D28s have. So it's a thinner bracing right off the bat, lighter weight. It's the same bracing as an OEM. So I never scallop D35s because, man, that's going the wrong way for me, making them even bassier and mushier. Once in a while, you get a good HD35. I've got some on another video, but those had a red spruce top on it, so that helps a lot, But an HD35 with a Sitka top just is really mushy guitar in my experience, and they get mushier after 20 years, All right, so my goal on a 35 is always to try to get more brightness and more punch, more snap, more cut. I don't want it to sound exactly like a D28, it never will, but I want more power out of it. So, on this guitar I did my standard stuff, tuners. I put Waverly tuners on this one, and I'm going to put white buttons on it to match the binding, but they're on their way. So just for now I put oval button Waverly's on. It got a bone nut, it got a complete Evo refret. I reshaped the fingerboard to get the relief down. Popsicle braces out, it's got my brace in. Got the bridge scooted back, bridge plate taken out, and this time on the bridge plate I used Amazon rosewood. I normally use maple or black locust on these, but I wanted to try something a little bit different on this one, so I used Amazon rosewood. It's a bright, punchy, snappy, almost Brazilian rosewood. So in fact, I had a Brazilian rosewood bridge plate, put it in the case, forgot it was in there, and I got an Amazon rosewood. So that's fine. Because Brazilian, I can't get Brazilian anymore. But I can get Amazon, I can get Guatemala and Southeast Asian, I can get other exotic rosewood. So I wanted to try one in this guitar. And that's it. And then I did a neck reset on it. It needed a neck reset. So tuners, bone nut, Evo frets all the way up, popsicle braces out, Amazon rosewood bridge plate, small one, bridge scooted back, neck reset. Not a long list of things to do, and I just strung it up this morning, so we're going to give it a run, and I'm going to probably compare it to a stock 70s D28, which I was going to do it with the 41 authentic and everything, but the authentic's got too much other stuff, scallop braces, red spruce top, that sort of thing, whereas I thought with the D28 that would be more like, how does this guitar compare to a stock, non-scalloped D28? So we're going to do that comparison. But first I'm going to play a little bit, and let's see what we got here. This is literally the first time I played it. So, I tuned it up and did a couple chords, but I was kind of impressed with what I heard. So let's see what you guys think. got punch. Well, I'm impressed. Wow. Put a capo on, see what happens, see what we got up there. Key of B for bluegrass. Oh, that's bright, man. Wow. Punchy. I'm kind of impressed with it. That's the first time I've used an Amazon Rosewood bridge plate in a Rosewood guitar, and I was afraid it might be a little bit too muddy. But when I tapped on it and got a really nice bright tone to it, and I thought, it sounds good. What I feel in this guitar is a really strong sound. It wants to be played hard, and it responds well to playing hard. So, lighter touch. Let's try some hybrid picking. Pretty good. Sounds really balanced to me. Doesn't seem bass heavy at all. Man, the trebles are cutting out good. It's got a real balanced sound to it. So let's play the standard stuff and compare it to that D28, and then I'm going to play it for a little bit longer. So here's your standard A/B comparison stuff. This guitar is rattling my rib cage. I know there's things that don't come across on the recording of shows, but the guitar really feels alive to me. It's just, when I hit those bass notes, it's just thumping me in the ribs right here. Got a really strong response to it. I like it a lot. Well, the other thing I'm going to do, it's got a pretty bad blemish right up here, where I guess the owner, probably, I wouldn't doubt that he had some insect spray or something on his finger, because the finish is just melted right there. And it's got a little divot right there that's kind of irritating. Really bad, not really bad, but it's got noticeable capo marks on the back, which you just, I can see little round marks where he used the capo. Those don't bother me too much, because I keep my thumb up here on the sides, but that is just a little bit irritating. I'm going to probably fill that in and try and smooth that out just a little bit. The D35s you got to watch if you ever go to buy one. The binding will come loose and it makes a ridge right there that's a little irritating. This one's pretty good, but that's got a binding ridge right there. And again, I'm going to smooth that in just a little bit. But on the whole, the binding is really good on this guitar. It's not in flaky pieces. It's got a ridge right here on the bottom that's irritating. And it's just a little off. That shouldn't be any problem to smooth back in. In fact, the whole binding on the bottom got a little bit of a ledge. I check it, make sure it's not loose, and then I'm probably just going to take a razor blade and gently scrape it in there to blend it in a little bit better. The top feels good. So, well, I'm pretty pleased with it. Doesn't have its final action right now, but it's really close. Real close. 90 thousandths of an inch down to about just under 80 on the high E. This D28 is 363. 75, close enough, mid 70s D28 again. This one's completely stock. I haven't done a single thing to this. It was owned by a professional player, and it's in need of other stuff. It's out of tune up the neck. It's stock. There it is. But that's fine. We're going to see how it compares. One thing about this D28, it has a spacer up here at the nut that you can see. It's a strip of ebony that runs across here, and what I'm doing is shortening the scale a little bit to see if that would be a valid way of correcting the intonation without scooting the bridge or without using a shim in here. So you can use compensation at both places. I've never done this at the nut, and so I'm gonna try it on this guitar, and it works pretty good. Right now the action is really high and needs a neck reset really bad. But it does play. Fairly well in tune. Some of that sharpness that's coming up from there is simply from the high action. Now, that's something I might investigate. And I might do it on this guitar and see what I think about it. So. Well, I have my observations on the sound, but I think I'm going to leave it with you guys to take a listen, see what you think. I will say this: the action's high. It's a beast to play. It's not a beast to play, but it definitely isn't reaction. well, the reaction's not good on it. It needs an increase rate really bad. And I should do that pretty quick here. So you see what you think about the sound.